So everybody kept asking me about table settings because everything I do tends to get photographed, and it's either on Facebook or varying other sort of social media things. And I get lots of people saying, oh, it's so easy for you, Terri, because you've got all these beautiful things and blah, 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 blah. And yes, I do have some absolutely lovely things. And, you know, I've spent my life collecting china and crystalware and silverware, as you can see, which is mostly Georgian antique silver. You know, when most young people were running around nightclubs or blowing the money on stupid holidays in places, I invested in antiques and bought silverware and china. Till now, I've got around 7 or 8 dinner services that seat a minimum of 12 people without repeating a piece of china, all completely different, that I tend to use for different times of the year. But there is a way of doing it, and everybody seems to get very confused. I personally think it's a thing that you should know, but some people obviously don't. So I'm going to sort of talk you through it. And I've laid 2 table settings. First of all, this is one of my favourites. This is Moya China, which is one of my favourite collections, which I do have in absolute abundance. And we've laid the table for a formal dinner, which I would do at Christmas, or if we've got dinner parties, which we have an awful lot. You would lay your cutlery from the outside edge in, okay? Starting with a soup spoon, not a dessert spoon. A soup spoon is round and flat, and start from the outside edge. We've laid this with a fish course, with a fish knife. A fish knife, these are just beautiful because they've got the little curve on. You don't see them a lot anymore, even in restaurants. I'm a stickler for things to be correct, and I've served fish. If we cook fish, I serve with a fish fork. Then you've got your salad fork and salad knife, which is slightly smaller, and then onto your main course knife, which is much heavier and a lot bigger than they would be. We've laid the table. I absolutely love, which I'll take you through in a moment, these little Hessian placemats, which is just a roll of burlap that I bought online, and then I had it all machined edged so that they're nice. They're absolutely beautiful. The plates are laid from your charger, which should be the base plate. But nowadays, people don't tend to use the charger because we don't get people serving us anymore. We serve ourselves. Who's got staff in the house serving you? It just doesn't happen, does it? So you start using the charger as your main course plate. Then it would go through to the next course, which would be your salad course, your fish course plate. Each plate is gradually going smaller, down to your soup bowl, which, as you can see, don't match the dinner set. I've got a huge collection of these soup coupes in lots and lots of different styles. Some of my dinner services happened to it. This one, because it was 1960s, these became obsolete. Nobody wanted them, so they didn't make them to this. So this is why I show you, you can, you know, mix and match. The top of the thing should always be your dessert spoon and a dessert fork, depending if you're serving a pastry dessert. This should be facing out towards the glass. The spoon and the fork should go into the left. Individual salt and pepper pots, because I have an absolute hatred of people passing things around a table. I think it's absolutely vile. These things cost peanuts, absolute peanuts. The tiny little salt and pepper pots, you can buy them online. They're called Hostess. And I've got dozens of them, absolutely dozens of those. And then with your glasses, you should have a red wine glass, a white wine glass, which of course here I'm using all the good crystal. These are vintage French water glasses, which I also use as dessert glasses sometimes. And they should be on the table as it's set. Pretty table setting. Never use candles on your table that are scented. I must say that before we go any further. Never use scented candles, it's hideous. Okay? Then, for everybody that's saying, oh, I can't afford all that expensive silverware and blah, 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 I've done an everyday, my shabby chic. This is how we eat every single day. This is how I lay table. Maybe not as many glasses, because we don't serve red wine and white wine when we're just having dinner, and we don't serve as many courses. But this is what I use all the time. Cheap luminart tumblers, dollar stores, pound shops, anything. Beautiful, just plain, simple, nothing wrong with that. The glasses are vintage, none of them match, as you can see. 2 totally different things. I think those were in a tag sale. I got about 20 of those for about £2-3. And those ones were slightly more expensive, they are antique. But just for the shame's sake. So we've got red, white and water. Again, it's laid out. None of the cutlery matches. If we come in, you can see it's all completely different patterns. But once you put it together, it looks so beautiful with the soup spoon, fish knife again, salad fork and salad knife, and then your main course and your main knife, which is always the bigger one. The dinner plates I've laid up by using vintage china. I don't have a full set to this. I think I've got 6 plates and a few tureens. So I mix that a lot of the time with just plain whiteware, which I adore whiteware. Everybody's got white plates. Don't use square dinner plates. It's the most horrible trend I have ever seen in my life. A square dinner plate is naff and it's hideous. People are going about napkins. For this, these are just tea towels. The dishcloth, tea cloths for the kitchen, from the pound store. That's it. You get 3. Make the most perfect napkin, lay across. Then I used a vintage plate for the fish course, which these are absolutely beautiful. I've got a huge set of those. And then the soup capes, which again, none of it matches. When you're laying a good table, I obviously use silverware, and gravy and sauce boats are something I insist on having a lot of. Again, I don't like things to be passed around a table. It's just not nice to sit there waiting. Your food's cold by the time. So 1 gravy boat should be between 2 people, no less. Not everybody can have 1 each, you know. But I use silver if we're doing that. Every day, you know, plain whiteware again. But have 1 gravy boat, 1 sauce boat between 2 people. So each one would go between the people, i.e. there, i.e. there. So you're just sharing it. Even nicer are these, which are individual sauce boats. You can buy them online. It's just restaurant wear. I've got, again, dozens of them, which sits nicely onto your placemat. Always use a placemat. These are vintage Laura Ashley ones that I've used here. And that looks so pretty. Again, if you've not got the little individual salt pots, buy, you know, tag stores, thrift shops, charity stores, all sell these beautiful little cut glass crate sets, which I've got. If I open the silver cabinet, these, you know, I use them on a daily basis. There's absolutely, I've got lots of them. And you don't have to, when it's that size, obviously you don't have 1 per person. Again, do like the gravy boat and put 1 set of cruet set between each person. If you're not going to go to the extent of that and you like a more modern look, buy plain white ones. Again, pound stores, great. Put 1 salt and pepper pot between people. If you're mixing stuff, you know, whiteware is a huge investment. It's so cheap. This is just from everyday stores, and you can lay a perfect breakfast table, the toast rack and things like that. Use vintage china. It's so easy. It's so cheap. You can take it from absolutely anywhere. We'll change this one up and show you. So if you leave your main plate and then you take into your whiteware as your salad plate, you can use these. These are in every charity store known to man. I've got, when I do say dozens and dozens of them, they're bread and butter plates. No 2 are the same. Doesn't matter. Pop that into there. White soup bowl looks exactly the same. As I said with the napkins, if you're not going to use the tea towel, I've got lots and lots of different styles of napkins, from restaurant style in the greens. This is a lovely idea. Again, charity stores, online auctions. These are tray cloths. Absolutely beautiful, hand embroidered linen tray cloth, and always fold the napkin correctly. It should be in, and across if it's small. Pop it under there. What looks nicer than that? Table mats, always use them. This isn't a table mat. This is a luncheon mat, which is a completely different thing for if you're serving sandwiches. These are 1930s, which are absolutely beautiful, and they do have sets of napkins. But you see, again, they don't match, but pull that through into there and it just looks absolutely beautiful. These are my Hessian ones, which I love. As you can see, it's just burlap. It's just a roll of burlap that came at that width. I think it was about £3 online. It's cut down, and if we bring the camera in, it's got this lovely, I don't know what you call it, like rip-rack binding that's just been sewn around the edge. They were just machined on. Table mats, I've got huge collections of table mats in different colours, different shades. This is one of the banes of my life. I either love them or I hate them. The napkin rings, and the way to use a napkin ring technically is to unfold the napkin. These are beautiful linen Laura Ashley napkins, which I've never used yet. They were an anniversary present from our friend Val. And then the technical way of doing it, these are quite pretty because they look like huge diamond rings, so if you like to bling it, you know, and then you can, once that's been served, if you take that away, if you want your table to look a little bit more over the top, you could do it like that. That gives a more casual look with your napkin, but I've got lots of them because people tend to buy them. I've even got Christmas ones when I lay a Christmas table. I'm not a lover of Christmas themed crockery and things. I think it can be a bit passé and a little bit tacky. If you're going to lay a dinner table as well, it's up to you. It should be an extension of the way you run your home, the way you do things. I like, if we're having a formal dinner party and I extend the table so it takes 12, I like to have name places as well. Some people think that's absolutely over the top. I think it's nice to have a name, and then when people filter through to the dining room, they look themselves where they want to sit instead of me saying, oh, you sit there and you sit there. And I always sit boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. It's you know, just the right thing to do. But collect things. The best way to do is collect it. You can go online and buy this stuff. If Dave shows you around into this cupboard, some of this is in that closet up there, which there's vast amounts of it. The closets underneath are full. Drawers are loaded with table linens and silverware and flatware, and it's, you know, it's just my thing. We entertain a lot and we like to do it. So I hope that was a help. And if you're going to do it, post some pictures on my Facebook page. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe to it now. And I hope you like that. See you soon. Bye.